Hello, I'm Luke Neller and welcome to Best Replays of the Week. Roll out! Let's start off with a Steel Wall replay. We have Rossiner 22 in the mother of all Steel Wall tanks, the T-95. The opening map is once again Suzanki, featured in almost every episode nowadays. I wonder if someone is doing that on purpose until I pronounce it correctly. This lumbering hunk of metal certainly takes its sweet time to move, but you can't deny the appeal of nearly unmatched power and protection. The beast casually sniffs out his prey for a while here, so let's jump into the juicy bits. But it might be left hungry for a while since the prey seems to be teeming elsewhere. Though there are some unsuspecting victims in the northern flank, which our beast consumes with ease before checking the minimap. Yikes! The entire enemy force has decided to go through the village in the south and is steamrolling through green defences. On top of that, all the friendly heavy tanks roll straight into an ambush. This is looking bad with a capital B. No other way out now. It's time to stand firm, hold your ground and let the armour do the work. An easy task for an ankylosaurus in the tank world. Fitting, since it is the tank among dinosaurs. The STRV had the right idea to engage our wall of steel from behind, and its armour is no match for the 155mm gun of the T-95. With 6 kills, Rossiner has managed to turn around the fortune of the green team. But somehow, the Allies have managed to throw it all away. However, all our base had not yet belonged to them. Our hero marches on. Danger up front. 2 full hit point TDs just lurking in the bushes. With the UDES not offering much support, it seems like our hero will have to be a lone wolf. The high explosive shell hits the Grill A-15 chassis, but only does splash damage. And it gets worse as the TS-5 charges in, putting our heavily battered steel wall on a one-shot. But in a superb display of composure, Rossiner finishes off the Grill A despite having a face full of TS-5. The TS bounces his kill shot and our hero doesn't give it another chance, making this a 1v1 duel. But even our beast shouldn't be too duel confident. The nimble and sneaky Batchat could be anywhere. But a tactical retreat through the bushes catches the Batchat out of position, and that's all that's needed. Victory! A great game by Rossiner 22, defying the odds in a slow and lumbering tank on an open map. Dealing 9.8k damage, 10 kills, but also being a shell sponge in crucial moments of the game makes this replay our Steel Wall of the Week. And for your weekly dose of Swedish tanks, we've got Phantomus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the Tier 7 medium tank, the Leo. A satisfying tier for the OCD completion of a sequence. The map is El Halouf, perfect for a squishy medium tank with a good amount of gun depression. Just like this, the 105mm sings and Phantomus is out before the enemy realise what's hit them. Finally, it's the STA that manages to retaliate, but doing 1.8k damage for losing just 240 HP, I'll take that deal any day. One by one, the enemy tanks are chipped away as the Greens take control of the game. Or not quite. Second replay in a row where the Greens have thrown away map advantage, leaving it up to our hero to save the day. Great use of cover. Phantomus rolls back and forth behind this rocky hill, ambushing and taking out 2 fearsome TDs lying in wait on the other side. An overconfident 59-16 attempts to chase down our Leo but only ends up on the kill feed. Was it a last-ditch effort to take down a green with it? We'll never know. The turret is barely turned when a T-52 yeets their way past our hero. It's a tough spot for a Leo as a Hellcat is providing crossfire from the back. The key shot misses and, with the engine in bad shape, the King of Cats can't chase his infernal feline rival. But a brilliant bluff by going unspotted makes the Hell Kitty a scaredy cat, missing the key shot. Phantomus is doing this! The arty trying to be a light tank. This should be an easy one-shot. After all, this is some well-earned confidence. Bounce. Bounce! What? Wiggle. Reload, reload! Oh no, the arty does not miss, and Phantomus is done for. But at least there's a light tank left against 2 artillery pieces. This should be a win, right? Yeah, how about that? The arty caps and the game is over. What a heartbreak! You've got to feel for Phantomus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 alone against 7 tanks, and all it came down to was 1 shell off target. Dealing almost 5k damage and racking up 7 kills just wasn't enough, but that's what we're here for. Congratulations, Phantomus, you are a crucial contribution of the week. Onwards to the 3rd replay on our list. It's Grimorian in the well-armoured ISM. Its rear-mounted turret and thick side armour make it perfect for side-scraping. There might be no artillery in this game, but on Fisherman's Bay, the town is the place to be for a heavy tank. Grimorian satisfyingly steamrolls through those pesky obstacles with ease, and finally settles in a nice little corner for a comfy vantage point. And here we see how to not turn a corner in a rear-turreted tank, our hero being very lucky not to be permatracked. A red push means we're surrounded. Only one option left, and that is to charge! Not today, amigos. The ISM stands tall as enemies are turned into smoking wrecks left and right. Way to go! This IS is bouncing whatever the enemies are throwing at it, including this nasty scorpion shell. But as the shells are running low, even high explosives needs to be put to use. Our hero patiently awaits for a good shot, and finally moves forward to take it, leaving the enemy for dead. The last hope for the enemy team is this Soma wrecking havoc in town. But not for much longer, with our hero pinning it into a tight corner until allies arrive to finish it off. And just for good measure, our hero secures the final kill of the game with a long-range sniper shot. GG. Dominant and effective, just the way I like to see a top-tier heavy played. Grimorian did 6.8k damage and blocked another 4.3k while holding the enemy push. For dealing damage across the enemy team and selflessly stopping an enemy push, we award you our Confederate of the Week award. Congratulations, Grimorian! And now for something completely different. A scout replay on good old Prokhorovka. We have the Lynx 6x6, helmed by EZ. Damn, that's fast. A worthy trade-off for the tinfoil protecting it, if you ask me. It comes as no surprise that the opening clay is a peekaboo along the ridgeline with high explosive for any unsuspecting light tanks. Which doesn't end up working in our hero's favour all that well, with 0 spotting damage and 240 HP missing from the get-go. Let's try that again. Attempt number 2 yields better results, but nothing spectacular. However, an HE shell into the Hellcat does tend to lift one's spirits. Another Hellcat? Don't mind if I do. Allies seem to be having some issues with this 40 TP, so better help them out a bit. And here's why. All that remains of the Allied team is a couple of battered tanks stuck in the corner of the map. Engage Battle Scout mode. That's 1, 2, and 3. Bingo! 3 tanks down and both allies are still alive. This certainly ups the stakes in battle. it's always nice to stroll by your fallen enemies on a Sunny. Creeping through the bush line reveals the enemy arty, but it gets to fire one last shot, destroying the progetto across the map. No! But we must continue onwards. An IS-6 approaches the base. Luckily, there's some nice areas to hide. Who doesn't like a good bush? But not for too long, our hero uses this wreck as cover. And pounce. Ouch! Pounce for sure. Look at him go. Certainly built for speed, not comfort. That ominous siren is sounding. Must be the T-54 this time. It is, but it seems to have missed the memo about not capping in the open. But with just 1 minute left, there's still 3 enemy tanks roaming the fields. Up there, on the hill! The RT is taken down just as the IKV lights up the ground behind our links. The GW fails his final hurrah, but that still leaves us with a full HP TD on the hill with no time to spare. With excellent teamwork, the final enemy is taken down and Easy is victorious. What a game! Winning with 10 seconds left on the clock with 3 unspotted tanks with a minute left, now that's something. Easy managed 3,929 damage, 8 kills and 5,000 spotting. The medals also speak for themselves. Dimitri's, Bradley Walters, Scout, Patrol, Duty, etc. For that effort, we award you our Scout of the Week. And for the finale, a very green-looking top-tier T-44-100 prepares for battle on Live Oaks. The author of this environmentally aware paint job is Rappy Pappy. Mind the building, though. A nice stroll on the bridge before the carnage begins. The opening exchange spots 2 rival progettos, more than a match for a T-44, especially if trapped in a coordinated pincer like this one. And Rappy Pappy takes no chances, finishing off the first one with a hefty downhill round. But catching the other one out in the open, now that's just Christmas. Now I see you, now I don't? Nope, still dead. Looks like there's some bush campers around, but not for long. Crossing the tracks lights up both artillery pieces, but also a Tiger racing back to assist. And he's toast. But a cornered medium tank is a dead medium tank, so when in doubt, lose sight and reposition, just like this. How the tables have turned! The Reds now corner themselves, isolating the dangerous Top Gun Leuven. There, it's one tough kitty cat though. Taking a teammate plus a good chunk of Rappy Pappy's HP with it before it submits. Checking out the scene? This KV was fairly oblivious to the approaching danger, a delightful kill of an off-guard Red to keep in the pocket. But the rest of the Reds seem much more aware, taking out the 2 remaining Allied tanks. Once again, double back, lose sight, and ambush the S1 with 2 brilliant tracking shots, making it unable to fight back. And now use its smoking wreck to throw off the Tiger. Brilliant! All that with less than a minute remaining. What a win! Rappy Pappy played this one perfectly, taking every opportunity presented and winning the game against all odds. All that while dealing 7.5k damage, earning 2,234 XP and dispatching 11 enemy tanks for a Paul's medal. Such a performance is more than worthy of our Top Gun of the Week. Congratulations! Those were some fine replays, but which one was the finest? Vote! Replay 1, Replay 2, Replay 3, Replay 4, or Rappy Pappy! Replay 5. Last week's best replay of the week, as voted by you, was Pablo for the win, the Ammolus UDS Scout. Congratulations. I'm Luke Nella, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.